Hello everyone, welcome to Windswept. You want to learn the movement? That's what the title says. I'm going to teach you the advanced movement techniques in this game. And there's a lot you can do. We're going to get right to it. Let me show you the tech. I'll show you the tech. The game kind of teaches you already, how to jump with this button. First level is the tutorial. You can spin with this button. You attack, right? Marbles can hover by holding the spin attack button in the air, not the jump button. Also, hold the spin attack button to charge a star trail, which means you're going really fast. At first, you may think marbles is, easier or better. Let's say this, marbles is the pretty one. Checkers can't hover, he can try, and can't charge up for a spin dash. Checkers can, however, build up a star trail. It's just a little bit more complicated, so let me show you how to do it. Checkers can ground pound by jumping in the air and pressing the left trigger. Checkers can also cancel this ground pound into a drop dash by pressing the spin attack button during the ground pound. Some important things to know about this function: unless Checkers is in a ground pound state already, Checkers can perform a ground pound at any point while he's in the air, even out of a drop dash. Ground pound again. Look at the poof. See the poof from the ground pound? Anytime after that poof shows up, you can perform a drop dash. You can actually do a drop dash on the same frame the poof comes out. After performing one drop dash, Checkers flash is gray. This means you can't do another drop dash until you land on the ground or hit an enemy. That's right, Checkers. Write this down. You should too. Trust me when I tell you, Checkers is where this game gets really crazy. As long as I keep hitting enemies with my drop dash, I can keep doing it, and if you miss, you can't do another one. If you attempt a drop dash after failing a drop dash, you'll get this little turtle flop, and if you do it right, you can actually gain some height off of it. To do this turtle flop thing and to not lose height, you have to hold the jump button as well. Holding forward will make this go higher. This is as close to perfect as I can do it. You see, if you don't hold the jump button when you go for the failed drop dashes, you'll just go lower and lower. So just kind of sinking. But what you want to do is either hit enemies with your drop dash or bounce on them after your drop dash and then do another one. And you want to get really comfortable with this. To get a star trail with Checkers, you just jump out of the beginning of your drop dash. I should mention there is a gameplay option to turn on hasty mode. This option makes it so that the game pauses for fewer frames during a swap or a piggyback animation. By default, the game pauses for a few frames when you swap or piggyback, but once you're comfortable with these functions, and especially if you're speedrunning, you should turn hasty mode on. Don't forget the in-game timer does not freeze during these frames. See, here they're trying to show you with marbles in the front, you can put Checkers on your back, or with Checkers in the front, you can put marbles on your back. This action is called piggyback in-game. Use your right trigger to piggyback. They tell you it's this button. Don't use that button, trust me. Here's my controller and here's how I use it. I use the default controls, the attack button or the spin button, jump button. Those are the only two face buttons that I use. I don't want my thumb to get confused by all of these buttons and what they do. I only keep my thumb on these two buttons right here. Other buttons on my index finger, I use the bumper to switch, the trigger to piggyback. Okay, so jump, swap, piggyback. These are actions that if you push the button to do in the air, the game won't let you do it. No double jump. So how do I do these things in the air? So in Windswept, if you spin off of an edge, you still keep your jump. No matter how long you wait, you still keep your jump. If you spin off an edge, you can also perform a swap or a piggyback and still maintain your jump. So this is where things start to get really crazy, because with Checkers in the lead, you can piggyback to have marbles give you a double jump, and then you can do all of that after spinning off of an edge. So with Checkers in the lead, you can now spin off the edge, piggyback, jump, buddy jump. Remember when I said Checkers can ground pound at any point? After that entire sequence, performing a drop dash will reset everything. Every action you can perform while spinning off of an edge, such as a piggyback and a jump, can also be done out of a drop dash. So putting that whole sequence together, you can spin off an edge, piggyback, jump, buddy jump, ground pound, drop dash, piggyback, jump, buddy jump. Did I lose you? So here's, I know it seems like a lot, but here's what I want you to practice to get this down. Go to 27 BV Battlefield right here. Sit right on this platform, and you want to do this. Piggyback, jump, buddy jump, and then after the buddy jump, you do a ground pound drop dash into the same thing over again. So you're going to piggyback, jump, buddy jump, ground pound, drop dash. And then from that drop dash, you can do piggyback, jump, buddy jump. Right? So it's going to be piggyback, jump, buddy jump, ground pound, drop dash, piggyback, jump, buddy jump, and you can make it up to here. That's what you want to practice. Now once you have that down, you're going to do it from here. Piggyback. And if you can make it up here from the ground level instead of the pedestal, that is the maximum vertical height you can reach with checkers in the lead in this game. Now for the horizontal distance, it's the same exact thing, except you have to spin off of an edge and then do the piggyback sequence that we've been practicing. So it's going to be spin, piggyback, all that. And you want to get to this barrel. That's going to be your goal. So if you can do this, congratulations. Now you know how the advanced movement in Windswept works. Cool. Now that you have all that down, let's make it even harder. We're back to this level. So that whole sequence we were practicing on the last level to reach the barrel, you can do all of that, and instead of reaching the barrel, as long as you hit an enemy, you can do it all over again. This. Drop dash. Right. I did say that Checkers can perform a ground pound at any point while he's in the air, but he also can't ground pound if Marbles is on his back. Just remember this, when you're piggyback, you have to buddy jump next, and if you're doing a drop dash, you can piggyback out of it to gain more vertical. See, I can just... if I wanted that, otherwise, just go for drop dashes, right? I need more vertical, then I can go for a piggyback, but otherwise, drop dashes are fine. Now, the last thing I wanted to show off is shell jumping. The way it works is Koopa shell, or Checkers' shell, can be bounced off of. That statement is true even in the air. If you bounce a shell off of a wall into your own feet, you can go up pretty high. So if you're stuck on dire ducts, you can do a drop dash into piggyback and then swap to Marbles holding Checkers now and throw him for a shell jump. It can look something like this. But the shell jump is not the last thing I wanted to show you. What I want to show you is how you can shell jump without a wall. To do this, you want to charge your spin dash, and as soon as you let go, you want to piggyback and jump. You're going to need that star trail. And then after you piggyback and jump, you're just going to throw Checkers forward. And I like to hold the hover button. If you want to see the difference in the distance these two can cover horizontally, here's Checkers. That's the sequence we've been practicing. He can kind of make it to the ducks. And Marbles can make it across the entire pond. So just think of it like this. Marbles is better for horizontal distance. Checkers is better for the vertical distance. So yeah, that's the entire movement guide video. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. We do Windswept Wednesdays at 5:30-ish p.m. Pacific. I'm trying to 1000% this game right here at... Bye!